What's today been like for you?
People want to take pictures, It's been great. I'm loving it. Let's go.
What's a few of the first things you want to accomplish here?
I want to touch base with the players. Really, I want to build it inside out. So I want to take care at home first. So touch base with the players, hire staff, figure out what it is that we need, and then recruiting.
And Nigel Pack was a first-team All Big 12 player. Just thoughts on his game after seeing him the last 2 years?
He was a terror to scout and to try and figure out how we're going to slow him down. And he's a terrific player. He brings great energy, looks like a tremendous teammate, and I'm looking forward for the opportunity to coach him.
Given Coach Drew's affinity for the KState program, how much did that kind of rub off staff-wide and give you a little insight into KState and this job?
I feel like I got a pretty good grasp of all the programs in the league. So, I don't feel like there was one or the other that or coach had a better grasp. We just have a really good grasp of this league, and I think that's what's going to give me a head start on this thing.
Coach, you mentioned staff and assistants. Any timetable on that?
Hopefully in the next week.
What's your message in the living room to recruits?
And if you want to play in front of the best fan base in America, we got it. If you want to play in the best league in America, we got it. If you want to compete against the best players in America, we got it. That's what we're going to tell them.
With your staff, what are there specific things you're looking for as far as recruiting areas or expertise in certain areas or anything?
I feel like we're going to be able to attract some of the best assistants in the country that have great experience, great basketball teachers, but the thing I'm really looking for is high character guys who love the student athletes and are great communicators.
In the press
I was going to say, you obviously have a lot of connections in Texas. Do you maybe try to find people that will kind of widen that net, or do you think that's kind of a fertile ground to build a team?
At Baylor we recruited nationally, and we have relationships all over the place. So we're not going to be limited to an area. We're going to look for the specific characteristics that a kid has that fits what we want to do here at KState.
In the press release that KState put out, they said that you were the first black head coach in program history, only the fourth in KState history in any sport. What does that mean to you?
That actually gave me goosebumps when someone that I'm really close to called to tell me about it as I was trying to research the job. But my dad is half black and half Chinese. My mom is Indian. I was born in Trinidad. I was raised in St. Croix. I grew up in Texas. I lived in Minnesota for a while. There's this saying that I become all things to all men. If by some mean I might win some. So I got a little bit of everything in me. So that is pretty cool. It is pretty cool to be a part of history and be able to leave a legacy for my kids. But I got to make sure that it's a great legacy and not one, so we got to get players and we got to win.
Keith Noel just told me that he kind of had thoughts of a crazy offseason about looking elsewhere, but when he saw that you were hired, it was a no-brainer to stick around. What does that mean to you, just that he has that confidence in you and that he wants to stay back and play for you?
Man, that's awesome. It is awesome to hear. It is, it's really cool when people believe in you, even like before they really get to know you. And that's just a testament to what we were able to do at Baylor and the reputation that was developed. And when we competed against these teams, these kids got to see who we were and what we were about. So I'm excited about that.
You talked about getting players. How familiar are you with the current roster, and what are maybe some areas that you think?
I'm very familiar with the current roster. We have to sit and evaluate and get to know these guys, who they are as people, a little bit better before we make any decision about what we need.
How do you understand the values and priorities of the KState's fan base specifically?
Well, I think the reason why I'm here is because our values align. And so the things that are important to this community are important to me.
You got to wake up and put it.
I guess I'm probably about your age, and grew up here. And when I was a kid, K-State used to beat KU routinely. The last 30 years, that has hardly ever happened, and that's a big deal to K-State fans. So you got this juggernaut 90 miles down the road. So how do you beat them?
I didn't get hired to beat Kansas. I got hired to win a Big 12 championship. Okay, so at Baylor, we would say we could lose to Kansas twice and win the Big 12 conference if we beat everybody else. So we're not going to get up for one game a year or 2 games a year. We're going to get up for every game, and we're going to treat every opponent with the type of respect that they deserve, and they're going to get our best foot. If what happens in the outcome will be the result of the work that we put in, but that's not going to be our Super Bowl.
I know you've got strong connections, recruiting ties in Texas. Do you have any up here, Kansas City, Wichita, anything around the area yet that you can draw on?
If I don't have it, the people I hire will. And so I think we're going to be covered there. But we did have this one kid named Ishmael Wainwright who plays for the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, so we've had some success in this area.
Coach, you woke up today, you got to put the power cat on, the purple tie. How's it feel?
Awesome. I mean, like awesome. Purple's my wife's favorite color, so I won by coming, you know what I mean? So this is awesome.
Coach Bill Self said that he left a voicemail for you. What did that entail, and then what's your relationship with him?
Well, I have a great admiration for Bill Self. If somebody, when I was at Baylor, and I'll say it right now, if somebody said who was the hardest guy to prepare for at Baylor, it was Bill Self. And if you meet Bill for the first time in an elevator, you'll walk out of the elevator feeling like you're his best friend, and he's your best friend. He just has a great way of connecting with people, and Coach Self has always been very complimentary of me along the way, and he left me a wonderful voice message, and he was funny as all get out. He said, "Oh hell, I got to listen to It's a Great Day to Be a Wildcat," But he's just a terrific man, and so.
You said the alumni, Jacob Poland, some of these guys have been K-State greats. Do you try to invite them back, bring them in to practices? What are your messages to those guys that have had a lot?
This is their program, right? I just get the opportunity to steward it. This is not about me. Nothing. This is their I want them to be invested in the program, be invested in the young men that are here on campus. I want to see them pour into the program. We got to be a family, and that's how we're going to be successful.